Um, is the position that this is in. There are no net new services. This is business as usual. Oh, this is business as usual as a part of this. I think there's maybe one or two categories that increased from this year, excuse me, from this year's budget to next year's budget, and that was just to bring it out in alignment um with the expenditures, which will more than likely be the same. So I just want to provide some additional context. Thanks, Mike.
Okay, I wanted to let everybody know that I actually failed to start the recording of this session, so I've actually started that now. And just for the record, I want to document the fact on the recording that our meeting did start at 7:05 p.m. and we have discussed the fact that we are putting a hold on doing any analysis of the payment frequencies from quarterly back to strictly annually. We're also putting a hold on the fact that or exploring the possibility of a 2-year budget. And the main topic of our meeting has been the changes to the final proposal of the 2023 budget, with an increase of delinquencies from 17 units to 29 units. That would increase the amount of COA number 4969 from $1,345 to $23,200. And that equates essentially from 17 units to 29 units. This is based on the fact that our current delinquency rate right now is at 76 units. And this is approximately half of that. Now, an adjustment that had to be made was a reduction in the amount used for the holding pond maintenance, which is COA number 6090. Also, a reduction in the legal expense line, which is COA line 8100. This will result in an increase of the annual payment from $785 to $800. Again, these are estimations at this time. The budget, the draft of this budget is going to be provided to the homeowners 30 days prior to it being voted upon. The suggestion that I've made is for that to take place on the 17th of October, with the finalization of the budget and the vote being taken on the 17th of November. And the goal is for the HOA bills or payment coupons, if desired, would be provided to the homeowners approximately 1 December. Those are the main topics that were discussed. And I'm repeating those just for the record because I'm just now starting the recording. But I did want to ask if anyone has any questions whatsoever. Questions? Okay.
Hi, my name is Shakira. I'm sorry. I had to take it off mute. So are we, if these units eventually pay up, are we gonna revise to try to bring it down? Is that the plan? Or right now we're just focusing on, because it seemed like every meeting, the HOA is going up. I'm at this point thinking we're by the December we're gonna be at like $1,000 because we seem to just be going up. And if $600 seem hard for homeowners to pay, but now we're at $800, I feel like we're even going to have more homes that's not paying because it seemed like everybody's having financial issues. So, and I know the bill have to pay, I get that, but it just seems like we are now $200 over the start. And if we can't get $600 from homeowners, how are we now going to get $800?
That is definitely a valid point. However, I mean, this is 100%. This is the lowest that we can get the number at. And I share your sentiment. I suspect delinquencies will go up even higher because, it, again, if you have someone that's having a hard time paying 600, how can they pay 800? The problem is the number is 800. Like we don't have a choice of not making it 800. Yeah, definitely if we could, we absolutely would. I am someone that has been very critical of the entire board. And initially, in this process, but prior to becoming the chair of the finance committee, uh, I made it very apparent. I was very blunt when I said, if these HOA fees go up to over $700, I will lead the charge with a pitchfork and a tiki torch because I am not paying more than $700 in HOA fees. I'm not going to make the jump from 600 to $700 or anything over. Now, looking at the situation that we're in, it is literally unavoidable. Uh, there's no way to pay the monthly bills without this happening. And it's a myriad of situations that have gotten us into this circumstance. Uh, and I don't know, it's looking very bleak in my opinion. So I suspect there's going to be uh, even more accounts sent to the attorney for collections, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to have to get on payment plans. So I won't get too deep into that, and I'll actually ask the treasurer Thomas to speak a little bit more on that. But there are contingencies for individuals that have hardships, so it's not just this cold, heartless. If you can't pay 800, then we're going to take your home. We're putting a lien on your house. No, there are contingencies. And again, I'll open the floor to Brother Thomas to
It's
address
fine.
that,
No, so
if you choose, if you
no,
choose.
I can. So the board has a policy. Management, if you're having a hardship, management can, without board approval, can offer you a 6-month payment plan. Um, the board, that, and if that's not doable, the management company can come back to the board and say this particular homeowner is having a hardship, and here are the reasons why, and the board can provide a different, a different set of circumstances, a longer payment plan. Ma'am, what has really happened is people have not availed themselves of that opportunity, and the accounts, once they hit a balance of $500, they automatically go to the attorney, and then the attorney takes, put the lien, files the lien, offers a payment plan. If they still don't respond, they file the lien. So um, we have been very, very aggressive. It wasn't done previously, but we've been very aggressive since December in getting those accounts to the attorney for legal disposition. The reality of it is the collections process is a very, very slow and laborious process. It takes at least 120 to 180 days to start to recover. Um, so, with respect to um, the increases, it's two reasons. One is the delinquency rate, and then two is the requirement that we fund our reserves, our repair and replacement reserves. Got 3 years to meet $55,000 in the annual contribution. So what we've done is we spread it over 3 years, uh, to get to that level. That's a state requirement. We don't have any room about that. But then the other part of the matter is the fees would go up regardless because one, we're not balancing the budget based on late fees. So if you look at any prior year budget, the board then factored in, $3,000, $4,000 in for late fees. And what we've made the decision about is we're not going to encourage bad behavior. We're going to balance the budget based on the assessment fee to figure out what it really needs to be. And then thirdly, the board in 2022 in 2021 had a surplus of $66,000. So that's how we were able to improve our services, um, uh, and improve landscaping, improve some of the other things that we needed to do. So um, that's the reason. So regardless of repair and replacement reserve, or increasing the fees, were going to have to go up. Um, and what I will advise is that, when Mike and I worked on this prior to the transition, um, we recommended to the developer that our assessment fees go up for 2022, just because of just inflation and other factors. So we recommended at the time that our fees be $650 for this year. But the developer chose not to do that. And so as we move forward, we needed to increase. So what I will also advise is, going forward after this year, because we have to fund this reserve, there will need to be HOA fee increases, because there's an annual requirement that we have to meet. Um, so, and I'll leave it at that. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome. I did want to reiterate the fact, just to speak directly to your question, that as Thomas said, there are contingencies in place for homeowners that are having a hard time paying their assessments. The homeowners just have to avail themselves to those provisions. Do we have any other questions? Okay, hearing none. The next scheduled meeting for this committee is on the 24th of October at 7 p.m.
Mike, I
Uh,
do have one. I'm sorry, I do have one question. Just they all here. What? I mean, they probably won't know neither here nor there. It doesn't, it probably won't even matter. I'm just interested to know what we're at 600 now. You know, what what can we do to help? Like, what's a comfortable level? 700. It's got to be above seven. It has to be above seven. But what would
um,
be?
I think that the the problem that we are facing right now is that we have cut everything that we can cut. Now, one thing that wasn't mentioned tonight that I do think is worth mentioning is that there are certain vendor contracts that are looking to be renegotiated, particularly referring to the landscaping contract. Now, I don't know what the landscaping committee is doing. I guess I would encourage y'all to attend those committee meetings to find out the status, if there's any forward motion on that initiative. But it seems like uh, one of the only places to really find uh, any type of financial relief would be a renegotiation of the landscape
And that's
contract.
risky. And that's
Very
risky.
risky.
It's very
Another
risky.
thing, another thing that has been explored, and I think this pretty much died on the vine. Uh, but another thing that has been explored was possibly looking at the trash removal contract and reducing down from 2 days a week to 1 day a week for pickup. I personally don't think that that's a great idea. I think that's probably not ideal. Uh, but people have a voice, and if the majority of the homeowners express to the board that that's something that they would like to explore, then as a resident here, I have to go along with it. But I don't really see any other areas that we could even consider cutting. When you look
Yeah.
at the budget here, and I think I have it up on the screen. Uh, so when you look at this budget, there's really not a whole lot when you look at these different categories. There's not a lot that can be adjusted. When you look at the small dollar amounts for certain things here, they wouldn't make any difference. So, for example, let's say we just, I have highlighted here mosquito control, which is something we really should do. We should not cut this. But let's say, oh, we just don't have any money and we can't do mosquito control. Well, unfortunately, that $1,800 is not going to do much to reduce your annual HOA fee. So you would have still a very high HOA fee, and then you wouldn't have any mosquito control. So this is just not an ideal situation.
Yeah, you gotta cut. You have to cut at least. You got to for it to really matter. You got to cut between $5,000 and $10,000 out.
And additionally, even if you, because think about it, I mean, we're talking $800. If 600 is a problem, reducing it down to $775 is probably not going to help a whole lot. You know, uh, that 25 additional dollars. So uh, it's a. I will say this. I encourage everyone to continue to dial into this particular meeting because as opposed to the HOA board of director meetings, this meeting is strictly focused on the budget. And that's all we live, breathe, and drink because and we're looking at this from every possible angle. And we're welcoming any ideas. If anybody is interested in joining this committee, collaborating, sharing their ideas, you are more than welcome. This committee is open. There's no criteria for joining. You just let me know. Or if you just want to participate the way that you're doing now, receive the notifications and dial in during the open forum session like we're in right now, then you're more than welcome to provide your ideas. Now I'm seeing a bunch of things come in the chat. I will request that anybody that has any ideas they'd like to present, please email them. I will put the email address for the finance committee in the chat uh, so that everyone is able to have it at their disposal. But I do request that you share your insight in via email. That way, there'll be a record of it, and you won't have to. I won't have to hunt around, try to figure out who said what and when. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to copy that email address and send it in to the chat. Post it into the chat.
Mike, there was one comment about the fences. I want to, if you don't mind, I can kind of talk to the fences. So there was concern about the fence being repaired. So I think what I think homeowners should, some committee members should realize is there are two pots of money. There's the operating account, and then there's the repair and replacement reserve. We When we do the operating budget, we have to fund the repair and replacement reserve. So right now, the repair and replacement reserve has roughly $97,000 in there, and we are waiting on bids to repair and or replace all of the fences. And that lift is going to cost roughly $28,000 to totally abate that. And be mindful that be know that we've already spent 30,000 of the repair replacement reserve to kind of make repairs around the community doing the maintenance blitz. So back in April, we did the maintenance blitz. We resurfaced the um, the tot lots. We brought our turf back into good standing in terms of its condition. There was a couple of sinkholes um, around the community that we needed to repair. Um, and there was something. Oh, there were a lot of dead trees and leaning trees that we needed to address. And then even in the main entrance out there, we need to get all those trees out there and upgrade that facade. So that's what's happening. That's what happened. I just want everybody to be aware. There's two pots of money. So this pot that we're talking about tonight is the operating budget um, for the association.
Okay, I did want to make sure everyone knows that a copy of the minutes from this meeting will be posted onto the portal. Also, a copy of this or a link to the recording of this meeting will be posted onto the portal. And minutes from previous meetings will also be on the portal. We've talked about a lot of things that weren't addressed during tonight's session, but if you wanted to go back and listen to some of the things that were addressed, for example, a very detailed explanation of the budget that you see on your screen right now. We went line by line and addressed everything. So if you're really interested in exactly what all these numbers mean, I encourage you to go back and read those minutes, listen to those recordings, and you'll have a more clear picture of exactly where we are right now and how we got here. Any other questions? Right. No more questions. What I'll do is I will adjourn the meeting. The time, current time is 7:45 p.m. We'll adjourn at this time, and I welcome you to the next meeting on October 24th. All right. Thank you.